everyone, this is Debbie from Project 39 Mini Albums, and welcome back to my channel. I am showing you two projects that I made with Simple Stories Simple Vintage Lakeside. I received the papers in a design team package for Country Craft Creations, and this is a design team project for them. There will be a tutorial on how I made this fishing creel, as well as a tutorial on how I made the mini album. So there's three parts to this walkthrough, the mini album tutorial, and the fishing creel tutorial. So let me just show you a little bit on the fishing creel. I'll move all these bits and pieces out of the way. First of all, this is a fabulous collection. If you're outdoorsy, this is wonderful. It's got ducks, it's got fish, it's got moose, it's got bear. It's just fun and outdoorsy. I sort of went with more of the fishing, naturey side of things and made this simple fishing creel. This is really easy to make. Now it does have sort of an angle to it. You'll see that in some of the pictures. But it's a fun project, and it holds the mini album. So you'll see the photographs of this later on, but let me show you the mini album. So there we are. It is a 5.5 by 6.5 inch mini album, and it's got lots of room for photographs. Now I didn't make it to fit 4x6 photos. I usually try to, but I decided to go, I didn't want the fishing creel box to be too big. So I figured you can take 4x6 photos and just trim down the unwanted parts on the side and you'll be good to go. I did use 3 different colors of seam binding that I received from Country Craft Creations. And let me tell you the colors before I forget. There is New Rust. There is, olive drab. And you know what? I ordered the medium blue and I did receive it, but I didn't use it. I used this green, and I'll have to look up what that light green is. I think it's a sage green. For the cover, I did something a little different, and I just layered a lot of different elements on. I wanted the cover to be representative of the things that you're going to find inside. So I used some of this wood grain paper. It's got writing on it. And then I used some of the elements from the bits and pieces. The ferns here, the grass here. I have the duck, the fish, the mushroom, the butterfly, this little adventure, this tag. I mean, they all came from either the bits and pieces or the nature bits. I did get those also. There's a ticket here. This element was from the, what was it called? Simple Pages page pieces. And I like that because it had some larger elements, like this Life is Better Lakeside. But the mini album's just a little bit too small to put this on. I mean, I probably could have made it, but that's okay. So you'll need like a 7-inch mini album for this if you wanted to use that. But of course it's good for a 12 by 12 page. Of course I made this rosette out of some of the paper, and I popped up some of these things just for added interest. This Hodgman little label. Hodgman makes waders. I actually found that, and I just added it because it adds just a whole nother element to it. There is the side, and there is the back. I was going to originally use that for the front, and then just decided it would be too busy. And then look what I ended up with. Alright, so let me take you inside. So again, it's 5.5 by 6.5 with a 3.5 inch spine. The pages are 5 by 6. Now inside, I had wanted a spot for a 4x6 photo, and you still could put a 4x6 photo, but I just added this as a tuck spot. So I think this is 4x6, so you still could put a photo right in there. And then I also put that in just for added interest. Now there's all 6 pages have one page style. There's the front and the back. Sometimes I make all my pages different, but in this case I wanted to make it sort of a simple mini album that you could put together fairly quickly. So then that's when I made the pages the same. After I made the pages, I made this specifically for 3x4 cut-aparts, but then I realized I could make a pocket out of them. So that is what I did. So each of the page has a pocket, and I've got a bit of the scraps that I tied some of the ribbon to the top. And you can see that also adds some more interest having that ribbon sticking out to the top. Now this is held on with a magnet, so this will open up, and I usually added something to the side. So here I just added Become One with Nature, the wood round, and then a fern with a butterfly, and then that, so I thought you could journal on that. And this view, if you put a photo there, I figured you could put that on top of the photo. This gives you room to journal as well. And again, this is a 3x4 cut apart, so I had to add a little strip of paper to the bottom of those cut apart, the pages here, just to give more room. Now I also did order the solids, coordinating solids to go with here, with the paper. So this is a great spot to put your photo, and I'm using a fish. This is open on the bottom, so you can still tuck a photo under there. So that is the one page style, and it is a hidden pocket page. These were from the sticker sheets, the little labels I made. I just scored across the whole sticker sheet. Let's see if I can get that in. And then added it to the page as a tab. I've always seen these and I wanted to use them at some point, so I love the colors. Love how it added some different texture. So here is the back page of that same page style. Now this one I used a 4x6 cut apart, added an extra little strip of paper here, and this one had the boat and the trees. I added some of the pieces from the bits and pieces and cut that so you can have that as a little tuck spot. But that is also a flap which opens up. Don't you love this froggy paper? Oh my goodness, I'd love to wallpaper a bathroom with it or something. And so there's a small pocket here, and I added some of the, here I have the 4x4 cut apart, and that is from a 3x4 cut apart, just to give you room to add photos on or just extra journaling. Those were from the bits and pieces too. And this is just a scrap of paper. I inked around the edges with 3 or 4 different colors. I actually had picked up this Rustic Wilderness Distress Paint, thinking that's what I was going to use, but it's more of an evergreen, and the greens in here are not evergreeny. I'm making up my own words, but there is a couple of pages left that I'm going to use this in a different project. So there is that, and this is held down with a magnet. My idea with having a big flap here was because I was going to use a lot of the bits and pieces and layer and collage, but it ended up that the 3x4 cut aparts gave enough interest and texture that I didn't need to do that, and I was able to use all those cut aparts in other places in the mini album. So here's another tag, and again I just used scraps to make these tags. It gives you more room to journal, and you could add small little pictures on there if you wanted to. I do feel like I should add something to this page, but then again, you could put a photo on here, so I just decided to leave it alone. So this will open up. Again, that's a magnetic closure. Here's our little photo mat. There is a room to put your photo. I think this was a sticker, but I did put some powder on the back of it. I call it powder, and it is powder, but I don't know, cornstarch something. So here there's the mousse from the bits and pieces, and this was a cut apart that I just used him as a tuck spot and added a tag that came from the bits and pieces. And of course there is my photo mat. And for the photo mats, it's 4.5 by 5 3/4. That's the size of the paper. I guess the cardstock is a little bigger. I don't remember. But you could cut down a 4 by 6 photo for that. And I did round the corners of all of those just because it's easier to stick in. All right, again, a strip of paper here because this was a 4 by 6 cut apart, and that covers up the pocket. I put a little duck there. I have the fishy paper in the back. You could of course put photos here as well. So like I said, there's room for lots of photos. Explore more. Lake, creek, river. I did add some of the fern and another mushroom from the bits and pieces. So I love this trout paper. Okay, another bathroom wallpaper. I live in an RV, so it's all nature to me. Love this Gone Fishing and then Big Fish Story. And I just glued this on two sides to make that a tuck spot. And of course the trout doesn't go all the way down, so you still could add photos on that gorgeous, gorgeous turquoise. And there is another photo mat. The mushroom paper is something else that's fabulous, but I would not put that in my bathroom. I mean, look at the colors. It's just beautiful. The colors, the textures. I am up in the Pacific Northwest, and foraging for mushrooms is a big thing here, so I'm sure some of my friends that I've met could tell you all of the names of these mushrooms. I don't know. I just know the white mushrooms you get at the store. This paper just coordinated real nice with this mushroomy color. And I wish I had, I think there is a distress color. It might be burlap something. I wish I had that for this mini album because that would have gone fabulous. I think like on here I used a gray distress oxide and that went real well. So this is from one of the cut apart pages, and this is the 4 by 4 cut apart. I added this mushroom element page and this 100% natural. I added these mushrooms to that just because it I felt like it needed something to make it flow, just because this page really didn't relate to either of those, so at least the mushrooms are consistent. And I love this collage cut apart. I thought that just was really pretty. And then there's the little tag. And I used the same colors on the tag as I did for the tie to keep the album closed. This is open here on the top, so you could use that for a tuck spot at the top if you had a small photo. And then again, the mushrooms are open on the side, so you could add a picture onto there. There is our photo mat. And then here we go with this page. I loved the use of this color and the plaid with the pages. I just thought it was just so pretty. So that'll open. This is a cut apart. So that opens like that. That duck paper is the same as what I used on the fishing creel box. And then this is a cut apart. So that's a 4 by 4. This is from the cut apart sheet. And this duck collage was already done for you. And I did ink these bits and pieces. Here's the package. So there's what you get in the page pieces. Sorry about that glare, you can't see it. This one is the bits and pieces. This has lots of words in it. There's the duck from this one. And then there's the nature bits and pieces. So it's leaves and the animals and the mushrooms. And out of all that, I really don't have very much left. I mean, there was 52, 57, and 12. So using all that, I don't have that much left. But it was so much fun to use all those. When you get this collection, make sure you get the bits and pieces or the nature elements or both. So here we have another tag. And that will open up to this. Yeah, I don't know, just real pretty. Love that color. Just love it. And that is open so you can stick a photo under it. And there's room to put a picture there as well. And there we go with the photo mat. I decided I liked the greens. This looks a little more yellow than it actually is in person on the camera. Don't know if yours shows it, but I didn't put too much on here. Just again, I liked having all of the different greens together. I did add, this was a sticker. This was a cut apart, but I layered a fern. This wood, the last park I was at, they call that a wood pancake, you know, just like a piece of wood. So here on this side, I use that same muted green color, which is fabulous. And then this green on the bottom. Come here, you. And I had this, you know what? I didn't use that butterfly paper. I still have one piece of it, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I'll probably use it somewhere. This was a one of the nature bits and pieces, I think, and I just added that to the corner. Don't know if I really like that plaid on there, but you know, you cover most of it up, so it's no big deal. So on this side, again, this was layered. It's a couple of different of the elements, and it's just glued at the top, so it's a tuck spot from the top. And then this leaf, of course, is open, so you could put your photo right on top of it. I just wanted to keep this page a little more simple. So there's that, and there's that. Final page. So this again is the same paper that I used on the cover. I added this time with nature and the two butterflies just to add a little more interest to that page, although I did like it all by itself and I wasn't sure if I wanted to add something, and I did, and I think I like it. So again, more of that page, room to put your photo. And here are some of the 4x4 cut aparts that look fabulous in there. I added a nature bits and piece with the moth or butterfly there. And then the last page, you'll notice in the tutorial I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I was going to put a side pocket here because I like to have side pockets on the outside part of the album, you know, facing the outside as opposed to facing the spine and hinge, but I didn't want to cover up this butterfly, so I put it there and I like it. So there is this fabulous cut apart, which will go in there. There is this one, which will go in there as well. And this was in one of the cut apart pages, and I just simply folded it and put it in there as well. Let me show you what's on the back. So there we go again. I know I showed you before, but now you can see the beautiful page. I mean, it's got the wood grain. It's sort of got a shadow of the fern. It's got ferns, just layer upon layer, and you know I love that. And again, there's this spine, and here we are again with the cover. I like seeing these 3 color ribbons because the colors are all in the collection, and instead of putting them on top of each other, I sort of separated them and spread them out, and I like how that came out. So there we go with the mini album and the fishing creel box that I made with Simple Stories, Simple Vintage Lakeside. Again, a design team project for Country Craft Creations. I will link the tutorials in the description box below. Please go ahead and comment and tell me if you've made this, how you like it. Again, it's simple to make. I had a fun time designing it. I wanted to make it like a creel, but I didn't want the hole in the top. You know, that's what they use to put their fish in. And I wanted it solid, so it's very solid. It's really fun. It's really cool. You might want to make this box all by yourself. It's a good sort of purse to make. I don't know. It's a neat project. So anyhow, that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. And most of all, have a fabulous day.